Hello. Hello, everyone. All right, nobody's here, but that's okay. We'll wait till somebody shows up. Or will we? No, we'll just start talking because the recording is, you can play the recording. But then I need people to tell me if they can hear me because I just set the microphone up. So we'll see. Diet Coke. Yummy. Bradley's here, and Bradley can hear me from the checkered kitchen somewhere deep inside the Beltway. Alrighty, hello everyone. It's the Great U.S. Treasure Hunt, Saturday, August, whatever it is, August 20th, tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time, noon is when the clues will go out. I don't know what time that is where you are, but it's noon here on the East Coast, Washington, D.C. A lot of walking today. I walked the mall, started out at the Lincoln Memorial, walked all the way down to the Washington Monument, and then I kept going to the Capitol, then decided, you know what, I better turn around and go back the other direction. Saw some of the Smithsonian Institution. A lot of walking. Had some snacks at one of the places along the way. Bought non-fentanyl laced water from one of the people selling cold drinks for only $2. So I took a chance, opened the thing. I heard the crack as the what's that called? The lid actually, had not been opened and nothing was spiked in there. So based on that, if you visit Washington, D.C. and people are selling you water and Diet Coke and other things for a couple bucks each, I'd say it's perfectly safe. Go ahead and buy it. It's better to be hydrated when you're walking from the Lincoln Memorial all the way to the Capitol, turning around and walking back the other way. Can't see the White House on that little walk, by the way. You get to the Washington Monument, you look over where the White House should be. You can only see like a little sliver of it. There's a whole bunch of trees and stuff. I've seen it on the money anyway, so I'm not sure I'm going to need to go over there because I saw the other buildings, the Lincoln, the Washington, and the U.S. Capitol. Those don't have trees in front of them, so you can actually see them. They're not blocked off. So tomorrow, within a 20-mile radius of the Washington Monument, if you've been following on Twitter or Facebook, you've seen some pictures on Twitter or Facebook. And if you're not following on Twitter or Facebook, shame on you. What are you doing? How do you call yourself a treasure hunter when you're not utilizing all avenues that could possibly be clues? Could we have put secret codes in on Twitter or Facebook? Sure, why not? It's our hunt. We can do whatever we want with it. So if we drop little clues there or little clues here during this video, you should be watching the video. You should be doing all that kind of stuff. Anyway, a lot of walking today. All right, let's see what chat is saying. I see there's some things dribbling in here. I said I was going to answer questions. It's a 20-mile radius of the Washington Monument. It is not under that bench at the Washington Monument. So if you did follow on Twitter or Facebook and you saw what looked like I was at the Washington Monument putting a thing under there, it very well could have been. As it turns out, even though hundreds of people are walking by it, there's no possible way anyone was going to find a coin if I had chosen to stick it literally. And again, there's the word literally within 80 feet of the Washington Monument. Nobody would have found it. You guys would have. But I decided that was a little too easy. We're not going to do that. Maybe when we come back at a later date, if we do this again, that might be a fantastic place to put a coin within 80 feet of the Washington Monument. It would be fantastic. Okay, so let's answer some questions. We know it's not going to be under the bench near the Washington Monument. Definitely not there, but somewhere within a 20-mile radius. All right, there we go. Bradley can hear us loud and clear. Nancy says, hi, Brad. Nancy's not even talking to me anymore. Nancy's now talking to other people in the chat. Nancy Zitko, the one and only, the leader of the Z team. It is Nancy Zitko, the first finder in Las Vegas. Oh, so long ago, just before Christmas of 2020. Genetic Blend Beth Hovanek, partner in crime, says go Z team. And Nancy Zitko says, hi, Z leader Beth. Beth is actually the leader of the Z team, but Nancy Zitko found the Z, and the N and the Z it's Nancy Zitko. So she's the heart of the team. Would we put it that way? All right. The legs of the team? I don't know. Genetic Blend Beth is now there's an argument in chat. Luckily, guns are not allowed in chat. She says she's not the leader. Bradley Hodges says, no fentanyl, you got ripped off. Well, it was only $2. I didn't expect the fentanyl for only $2. There were some $5 water, I suspect. Might have had some extra, but I didn't want to go for it. All righty, what do we got? What happened to Jen's video? Oh, my God. Jen's video. So Jen's video was delayed slightly, like a whole week. It was not delivered to us on time. And by the time it got delivered, I'm using that in the imperial sense. We didn't have the ability to complete editing Jen's video. We've got Jen's video. We have it. We just haven't edited it. It's going to be a 7 to 8 minute video telling her story. We now also have Bradley's, or Bradley. Is it Bradley? Am I insane? Was Bradley? It's not Bradley. It cannot possibly be Bradley. My mind can't be working. Was it Bradley? Was Bradley our winner last week? It's literally not even a week ago. There's literally again, and I don't remember if it's. I remember it's Dobbins. So Mr. Dobbins' interview has been delivered, and I haven't edited that either. So we're going to get 2 videos this week. We'll have both Jennifer's video and Mr. Dobbins' video, which another way to think of it is the Los Angeles video and the Austin video will come practically back to back, as I will not be doing any extra traveling this week. I will not be doing any extra other stuff that takes me out of doing editing. I'm going to be here in this undisclosed location deep inside the Beltway in a historic building. Not going to tell you where it is. Not going to tell you. Wouldn't be proper. Wouldn't be prudent to tell you where I am. But anyway, tomorrow we will be somewhere within a 20-mile radius of the Washington Monument, and we will be giving away a prize. I'm thinking people are going to have to team up this time. Well, we've you know what? Actually, we have not had an individual win any of our three hunts, because although Anthony Neisser drove all the way across country, he had a team backing him up, and Jennifer Rowe had a team backing her up. The aforementioned Mr. Dobbins had a team that finished in 3rd place in Vegas, in 2nd place in LA, and then finally won the thing with Mr. Dobbins as the spearhead. So we've had 3 teams win. We have not yet had an individual win. And we have had people who had just found out about this treasure hunt the day before come in 2nd place, come in 4th place, come in 5th, 6th, 9th. We've had some latecomers to the party that, working on their own, if not for maybe a little bit of traffic, would have won that particular week. In week 1, Tony Neisser beat a local lady by a minute and a half, only because he was running the whole way. She said that she delayed leaving the house by just a little bit. Otherwise, we would have had a local winner. And last week, it was a literal race from the parking lot to the bench where the item was found. Now, because our second place team had just found out about the treasure hunt. They didn't know they were supposed to run. They didn't know running was an option, so they sauntered. Well, you can't win the Great U.S. Treasure Hunt if you saunter. So once you get to the location, do not saunter, because somebody else is already there and they are running. The exception to that was second week Jennifer Rowe. Jennifer Rowe did not have to run because she was there in plenty of time. Running was not required. But in weeks 1 and week 3, if the winner had not have run, that doesn't sound right. Anyway, if the winner was walking, the winner wouldn't have been the winner. The second place person would have been the winner. So run. That's all we got to say. Just run. Tomorrow, who knows? It's still a good idea to run. You don't throw elbows as you're running. If you know you're going against another team, it'll be interesting without seeing the elbows thrown. So anyway, week 4, Washington, D.C., 20-mile radius of the Washington Monument. Let's take another look at chat. Put on the $1.25 glasses. What do we got? Mostly they're just talking to each other. Let's see. Bradley retracted a message. Bradley, excuse me. Bradley asks, did you hide it today? Yes. The coin was hidden today. Been here since yesterday. Hid it today. So the walk along the mall may have yielded some results, and maybe not. You never know. It could be on the mall. Could very easily be on the mall. There are so many overhangs. There are so many benches. It would be so easy to direct you to an exact location somewhere along the mall, within sight of the Capitol, within sight of the Lincoln Memorial, an absolute iconic location. It couldn't get better than that. Yes, I hid the coin today. Not indoors. All right, what else? Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture. This is being recorded, right? God, I have no idea if this is being recorded or not. What do you think? I handle the tech? I'm not a YouTube employee. I don't know how any of this stuff works. If I need to know how YouTube works, I'll go ask someone in another room 25 feet away. All righty, next. Wonder if you good peeps can find his Verbo Airbnb. Yeah, good luck finding this spot. You're never going to find this spot. You don't know what it is. You're throwing Verbo, you're throwing Airbnb out there. You're going to look for checkered whatever's. Never going to find it. Oh, you see, there's a dog. So it has to be an Airbnb or Verbo that takes dogs. What else? Are the Asheville and Milwaukee coins already hidden? The Milwaukee coin is, in fact, already hidden. The Asheville coin is not hidden, although the precise location has been scouted, and we will be there eventually. So, yeah. But the exact location and the exact puzzle, there will be one puzzle for Asheville that gives you the exact spot. It won't be a thing where you combine 5 different puzzles. It'll be one puzzle and one puzzle only that will take you to Asheville. Washington, D.C., I don't know. Could be a combination of 1 or 2 or 3. I'm not going to say how many you're going to need. I will tell you what type of puzzles will be here in Washington, D.C. So tomorrow, sometime afternoon, can't say exactly what time. Could be 12:04, could be 12:14. It's going to be as close to noon as we can possibly make it. Sometime afternoon, you will get a poem. You will get what seems to be a Polybius Square type of puzzle. You will get a short story-ish puzzle. You will get a word search, and you will get a government oriented thing that you'll have to read through and it'll look tedious. Let's put it that way. Those are the 5. I'm not saying that's the order they're going to be released or on your clue sheet or whatever. So poem, Polybius thingy, word search thingy, short story thingy, and then whatever the other one is that I just said, because I can't remember because I just changed the order, just like I'll probably change the order on the clue release. So that's the things you're going to get. Milwaukee is in place. Asheville not in place, but the exact location has been scouted and it will not be changed. All right, let's see what else. Yes, Hooli, you would love to play if he wasn't so stupid busy. It's super. It takes a lot of time to play these. Every one of them has been found within the hour. Well, technically, the second one, from the time the clues were released to the time that Jennifer showed up, I want to say it was an hour and 10 minutes. Maybe not when she showed up at Miles Square Park, but maybe an hour. And then it took her 10 minutes from the time I saw her to the time that she found the coin. So it was about an hour and 10 minutes after the clues release. Tony and I for about 25 minutes, 26 minutes. And then the last one, both Jeff and I were there, and we couldn't have been in the park more than 15 minutes, and the clues had come out a little bit before that. So that was probably another 25-minute or so solution. We had Mr. Dobbins, along with, I believe, the Altmans, sped into, well, the Altmans sauntered, Mr. Dobbins ran. That's why he's the winner. But there were 14 teams. There were 14 teams that showed up at the park, and 10 of those teams were local Austin teams that weren't working with someone else in the country, and 9 or 10 of those 14 teams had seen the story on the news the day before or the night before. KXAN, a local station, ran one 30-second story. Then they put it on their website, and they tweeted, and they put it on Facebook and stuff. But basically, it was one 30-second blurb, and we had over 800 new registrants because of that story. 800 from a one 30-second story, and 14 teams showed up within the first under an hour and a half, and 10 of those were local teams, had never heard of the treasure hunt before, and it was easy enough that they solved it, found the location. Didn't quite win, but that's what we're going for. We want people to have a lot of fun. We want a lot of people to have a lot of fun doing these things. So even if you can't make it down there, hopefully you look at the puzzles and you go, oh, okay, that took like 3 minutes, but at least it didn't take 3 months, and I couldn't solve it, and I got frustrated, and then I never played another puzzle hunting game. I never went out looking for treasure because I tackled this one thing and it took 3 months and nobody solved it. Yeah, it's better to have the easier ones that people actually win. I think everyone in chat agrees with me. Yes, everyone in chat agrees with me. Now I'll put my glasses on to see if they really do. La da dee dee, la da dee dee dee. Okay. Nancy asks, have you had an increase in participants this week? We are still under the magical 5,000 registrants number. We're about 4,500, which is about where we were last week. So we have not had a big increase in participants this week. We have not had any local media coverage either. The press release is out there. It's up to the stations, all the news stations, to choose whether they're going to run a story or not. When it gets into the newsroom, does a guy look at it or a lady look at it and go, treasure hunt, this is stupid, I'm not going to put this on the news? Or do they look at this and they go, we're not going to put it on the news, but we'll go ahead and link to it on our website? That's a possibility as well. If they link to it on the website, we'll have 200 or 300 new people registered. I can guarantee it. How can I guarantee it? Because it happens every time we get local media coverage. You get hundreds of new registrants. That is what happens. And we have never had a long feature story done either on a winner afterwards or on the hunt beforehand. And I mean a long feature story like those stories you see that go on for like a minute, minute and a half. Hey, there's a treasure hunt in town, and we talked to the founders, and oh, hi, I'm Dave, and we're hiding something out there. Oh, where is it? Blah, blah, blah. You know, one of those little featurette things that go on for a minute and a half. The only thing we've had so far are the little 30-second blurbs where the two anchors talk to each other. Hey, there's a treasure hunt. It's it's $1,000. I could use $1,000. So could I. Hey, there's only 5 puzzles, and it's apparently within a 1,000-mile radius of the world. You know, they get things wrong and they stumble over things. But hey, you appreciate at least a half effort from the local news, and then we get hundreds of registrants because of that. So if we get one local station to give even one of those little even just basically reprint the press release on their website, we'll be well over 5,000. If we don't, we'll probably stay at about 4,500 or so, which is great because our stupid GoDaddy email thing everybody loves doesn't go over 5,000 registrants. If we get to 5,000, we have to quickly scramble and figure out how to use MailChimp, which we've paid for but have not switched over. Why? Because you don't change horses in the middle of a stream. You know that GoDaddy kind of works and you've got it kind of figured out. That's what you kind of use. 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever time they wake up here in DC. And they decide to run the story. And we end up with 6,000 or 7,000 people registered. We will have to learn how to use MailChimp within the next 45 minutes because we don't want 6,000 or 7,000 people registered have to use GoDaddy and only send 5,000 people the clues. We want to send all 6,000 or 7,000 people the clues. And since we've bought MailChimp, you'd think that this week we would have figured out how to do it. But we didn't even produce our TV show this week. So we're certainly not figuring out MailChimp until we actually have to. Okay. Little inside baseball there for you. God, I was walking a lot today. All right, what do we got? Is the location of the DC coin in a park that has free parking available? Did you visit the Capitol building while you were down there? It's a beauty from the inside out. Are you releasing the puzzles at noon or later DC time, not the usual 10 a.m.? Okay, it's noon or slightly later DC time. I don't know what time that is for everyone else. I know that when it's at noon, our time here on the East Coast, because I'm now on the East Coast in the mysterious Verbo Airbnb place, it's going to be noon or slightly later. What was the other question? Did I visit the Capitol building? I got close enough to see it, and they had some sort of wrap around it. It looked like it was, I don't know, it was wrapped in white. Excuse me. Got to go for this again. The post-COVID thing is getting better and better every week. That was a little hello to Carol Burnett there. Good job on the finale of Better Call Saul. Kind of dropped the ball there by not having Kim Wexler have a kid. Why does she not have a kid? She needed to have a kid. And here's why Kim Wexler should have had a kid in the last episode of Better Call Saul. Because when she was a child and she refused the ride from her mom, she was carrying a cello. Why have her carry a cello, which is a symbol of the feminine, if you're not going to pay that off later? And they pay it off in no way later. She's never showed later playing an instrument. It would have been fantastic. In fact, it should have been written that one of the reasons she leaves is foreshadowed there when she is a child, because she's with child when she leaves Jimmy. She doesn't tell Jimmy. We don't find out until the very last episode. Then you can go, oh my God, that's why she was carrying the cello back there, when the flashback to when she was a kid and let her mom drive away and she lugged the cello. She took it upon herself to not only save herself, but also the cello. And then that was not paid off, which is a rare misstep for the guys who created Better Call Saul, but a complete misstep. She shouldn't. Why even have the cello at all? It could have been a flute. It could have been a violin. Why this huge burden of a large musical instrument shaped in the feminine again if she doesn't have a child at the end. The biggest ball drop, unfortunately, in that show. Uh, I was I was let down. I was really, and instead she smokes a cigarette with Jimmy and then double gun and okay, whatever. All right, I've forgotten the question. Okay, let's see. Oh, the visiting the I got on the whole visiting the Capitol and there was a wrap around it. I got almost to the Capitol, just across from the little mini reflecting pond, took a couple pictures of that, spun back around, went walking back in the other direction. And that's back toward the Washington Monument and then the Lincoln Memorial, where I was picked up at an undisclosed location very near the Lincoln Memorial. It's a gift shop and some snacks, and then drove back here to this undisclosed non-Verbo, non-Airbnb location. That's where I went. I'm getting ready for the last question. I think I've dropped all the hints. Not, I didn't. I haven't dropped a single hint. I've told you all of the things that you need to know. What type of puzzles are going to come out? They're going to come out in about 12 hours. I'm going to write them in a couple hours. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to write all the clues. Some of them might already be done. All right, let's see. Is the location of DC? Yes, free parking. Everything's free parking here. The Smithsonian Institution, you will walk right in. The museum is free. There's no charge. You just walk down, walk in, and you're good to go. So yeah, it's free parking everywhere around here, apparently. So you're gonna get it now. Can you find parking? That's the question. Can you find the parking? Having the parking and then finding parking, two completely different things. I've never guaranteed that you will find a parking spot. So if you have to pull up and dump someone out of the car and then you drive away while they run in and find whatever it is they have to find, in this case, it's a coin that I can't show you because you should all know what it looks like. It's, a coin of approximately that size. It says the Great U.S. Treasure Hunt on one side, it says DC on the other side. So you'll find that, but I cannot guarantee you will find parking. There is free parking. I don't know if you'll find it though. All right, what's next? Parking Panda is great for DC. So there you go. There's an app for that, apparently. Public transportation, a good idea, close to the coin. I don't personally think public transportation is ever a good idea. I think it's good to have your own vehicle and drive exactly to where you want rather than where the public transportation wants to drop you off. But that's just me. I'm a guy who gets in a car and then drives exactly to where I want to go. I don't drive to a spot where everyone else is parked and then get on a thing that the government says, hey, I'm going to take you over to this place that's close. Then you'll get out and you'll walk another 3/4 of a mile because it's public. So not a big fan. Not a big fan. Get a car, drive exactly to where you want to go. Don't blame me if you jump on the bus. If you jump on a bus, so help me, and you get dropped off 1.5 miles from this place, don't complain to me. I didn't say get on a bus. In fact, I literally told you don't get on a bus. Uber, maybe. Lyft, perhaps. Public transportation? No. Don't get on public transportation because you know who rides public transportation? Bums. That's who rides it. People will go stabby when you're trying to find a seat. You're trying to do stuff and suddenly there's lunging happening. So no, better you would be walking than to jump in a public transportation anywhere. Maybe Europe. It's okay. But here in America, bunch of reprobates riding the bus. Let's face it. Dump that bus pass. Get a car, learn to drive, and you can go to the exact spot that you want to go. And that's what this hunt is all about. It's the exact spot. You're not going to get there. People have had to, one person runs, the other person saunters, and 1.5 hours later, the person that took public transportation shows up and nobody's there because we've all already gone home. And we've already done the wrap-up video, and the person has to walk another 1.5 miles back to the bus stop And it's go, oh, well, I thought I had it. I knew where it was, but Route 334 only took me to a mile as close as I could get. So he took the 34 bus and didn't make it. Okay, that's my little riff on public transportation. All right, here we go. What else next? Let's see. Julia, how do you scare a panda? Give it a little bamboo. Oh, because the National Zoo and the panda. Parking panda. And plus the National Zoo is around here somewhere, right? Isn't it inside the Beltway? I don't know. I think it is. I remember when I was a kid, I went to the zoo and I saw the pandas with my grandmother. And here's how old I am. When I was a kid, I went to DC for the first time and only time, and then this is the second time. Now, you'll do your research and you'll think this is a clue, and this is not a clue. This is just a little bit of, you can zero in on exactly how old is Dave. I was in Washington, D.C. with my grandmother on a little trip because my parents were working. They had a business. They couldn't take time off to go do stuff with their stupid kids. Send grandma off to do stuff with the stupid kids. I was one of the stupid kids, and we would go one at a time. Couldn't afford to do all three stupid kids at the same time. Plus, three kids. I've got, a brother and a sister. My grandmother couldn't watch three kids at the same time. One kid, that's enough. So the day that I was here in DC was the day that I want to say it was Sarah Jane Moore took a shot at Gerald Ford in San Francisco. I was in DC when an attempt on the president's life happened over in San Francisco. Gerald Ford. Now, someone is Googling that furiously, and they're going to find out exactly the last time I was in DC was that day. We were here for about a week, saw the things we just saw the pandas at the zoo because China had sent some pandas. I want to say Ling Ling and Sing Sing. Ling Ling and Sing Sing, probably. And anyway, that's the last time I was there. All righty, where we go? Yeah, okay, good. We don't know when I was here, but I know when I was here. All right, so that's it. Tomorrow, you'll find the coin tomorrow, and someone will find it. If there's local news, you might be getting this from MailChimp. If there's no local news coverage and we can stay under the 5,000 threshold, you will be getting it from the tried and true and ultra reliable GoDaddy's email system, which has worked 1 out of 3 times on getting things delivered exactly at the right time. It's worked 3 out of 3 times to get it delivered. The timing has been off 2 out of 3 times, but tomorrow, let's hope that tomorrow everything works smoothly. And just after noon, don't pin me down on exact time, just after noon, all the clues will go out. A 20-mile radius of the Washington Monument. All right, what's next? This is it. Otherwise, I'm signing off if there's no new questions. All right, there's no new questions. Excellent. I'm signing off. Thank you, everyone, for coming in. And hopefully we'll see one of you out there, or you'll have teamed up with one of the locals here. Use Facebook, use Reddit, use Discord, use whatever you use. Use psychic emanations from the airwaves. If you're going to use public transportation, you might as also try psychicism because they work equally well. All righty. Good luck, everybody. Thanks to everyone in the chat. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see, hopefully, at least one of you tomorrow. And I guess that's it. Goodbye from the non-Airbnb, the non-Verbo, inside the Beltway location within a 20-mile radius of the Washington Monument. Adios, everyone.